All right. Good evening. Good evening. Today for my latest edition of Mr. Rick's Place. I'm going to try something a little different today. I got in contact with a young and flourishing comedian, and we were talking about how careers and people careers are sometimes held up. Some people don't really want to try doing things that really they were destined to do because they're worried about what some people might say about them or talk about them. And most of the time, they're worried about being heckled. I know a lot of y'all saw a lot of comedians that's on the stage and how they tend to be talked about and heckled by people in the audience because most of the time, after the person's kind of like counterpoint that a person is out there in the audience, he's really feel offended sometimes by sometimes people saying things or basically you got kind of two or three different kind of comedians. It kind of made things get kind of better, and then but at the way it done open up all the gates, the floodgates, and then before you know, they start doing everything on the record. You start seeing everything on TV, and a lot of people started this saying they started cussing on radio and cussing on TV, and you know, I'm not trying to be prudish and nothing like that, but then again, I know that what seems to be offensive to you may not be offensive to another person. That's one of the laws that they written into the Supreme Court. Say whatever is offensive to one person, who has the say so to say that I object to what you saying or what you doing on the air. So as we wait on his name Mr. Shaw. His name is Mr. Derrick Shaw. And I met Mr. Shaw on Facebook, and when we got to talking, I found out he used to be a student at the high school that I used to work at, and I never paid any attention to these youngsters most of the time. They kind of admired me because I was working at a high school. I was working as being a custodian. And a lot of times I was singing and I was playing in the band room, and I go off and they see how talented I was, and a lot of people, really, they kind of underestimated my talent. I put it like that. So later on, when people grow up and then when they get older, you start reminiscing and you start finding out and say, yeah, that's that guy. I know that guy right there, man. Yeah, you went around a lot. And, yeah, I was there. But I put it like this: sometimes God puts you in certain places, and He puts you like in the wilderness for you to refine yourself. You know what I'm saying? You refine your skills, you refine your the gifts that He gave you, and He makes it better. And at the time, you really don't understand what's happening with you because you feeling hurt. Most of the time, most people feel hurt because they figure that why I'm not being recognized and I'm doing all this and people at me and I know I got talent. Want somebody come out and just kind of help me, You say, help me, I need help. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs a helping hand in life when they're doing things. And we're we're looking at a vehicle like Facebook, YouTube. Well, we have the ability to present ourselves out to people. And so as I'm waiting on Mr. Shaw to call in, I told him to give me about 2 or 3 minutes before I started talking and before he returned my call. So, Daniel, what's up, man? I've been looking at you, and you can help me edit to these videos. You know, I want to give the listening and the viewing public to this is one of my helpers. You know, he's a real talented young man.
Yeah, I noticed you got a really good microphone.
Yeah, I got a pretty good microphone. That's why I sound real good, though. Yeah, yeah, I got a real cheap man somewhere, man. You know, I go around, you know, to a lot of pawn shops, you know, and I look around for stuff and instruments and guitars and trumpets and anything I can find real cheap. I try to buy it and try to put it in my surplus of instruments that I can have and play. And I think the listening audience. How do I sound, man? Do I sound kind of heavy? Do I have a heavy voice? You know?
Well, well, you sound almost the same as when we're talking in person.
Yeah, I know a lot.
So it's it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Like,
having a talent you want to talk about and make people laugh. You know, what do you consider as being funny? Back off again. Mm.
Hello?
Yeah, I got you.
Can you
Okay,
hear
you
me?
remember what I said? Just repeat what
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I said I can use a little profanity, right?
Yeah, you can lose a little bit, not too much now.
All
Okay.
right.
All right. All right.
What you say? What made me want to be a comedian?
Yeah,
Was it-
well, I mean, not only that, I mean, somewhere
Oh
down the
yeah, yeah,
line,
yeah.
you know, you had the ability to make people laugh at you. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
You
Yeah,
you were like the class clown. You
yeah,
always the brother always got in trouble all the time, and always had to figure yourself out, figure
yeah,
how to get out of trouble, and you know how to
yeah.
use your wits in order to do it.
Yeah, yeah, but my sense of humor got me in trouble. You remember the first day of school? You remember the guy that got into the fight on the first day of school? That was me.
Oh man.
I,
Well,
what happened? I got suspended the first day. What had happened was I cracked a joke on this dude named Sean. He was in special ed. And Sean had a whole bunch of cousins that was in the same class with him.
no, man, it's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
family thing.
yeah. So when
Dang.
school was over with, they chased me home. I had to run full speed. And they had helmets and everything. I ain't had no helmet. So,
Hell, man.
you know, they were
Oh,
special.
man.
So anyway, they didn't catch me. Next day, I come back to school. Track coach, he gonna be like, "Shaw, I seen you. You was running, boy. You got some speed on you. You want to run some track?" I'm like, "Say, man, you didn't think to stop these herds that was chasing me just a minute ago?" Yeah, yeah. But so stuff like that happened when I grew up that was funny. I just get on stage and I just tell the story because if it's funny to me, I'm pretty sure it was funny to everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, like I tell everybody, I'm not really a comedian. I'm just a nigga with some problems that get on stage and talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, when you look at it, man, that's basically what it's all about, man. I look at all
Yeah,
these cats, man. They basically they tell about this story they went through, man. And then they bring it on stage, and basically they just laugh at their own problems. Basically,
right.
so
Like,
so
like you got
uh,
kids
yeah, I got kids.
now. Do your kids? I got a daughter and I got a son.
Yeah.
And do they ask you weird questions like where you and mama met at and stuff like that?
Yeah, they asked me that. They asked me.
Man, my
Yeah.
daughter, she 22. She finna get married. She asked me, she said, "Daddy, where'd you meet mama at?" Nah, I had been avoiding that question for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, look, I'm gonna go on and tell her. I say, I met your mama in high school. I was on a restroom break.
Yeah.
I was walking past special ed classroom, and she was she was drooling on the ice cream sandwich. And that's how she got it.
Yeah.
she She got mad at me.
Got mad.
Got mad at me. And then my son, he's tall. He's like, I said he about almost 6'5" or something. Big guy. They took out his mama and them on his height or whatever. He always liked to spend quality time, go to the movie.
Yeah.
But his mom, and so you gotta be careful who you have kids by too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my dad told me that. He told me about my wife, man. Man, you don't know, man. You shouldn't have gave my name away like that, man. I said, well, I couldn't give it, man. I told you, man, don't be married and everything. You mean why do we mess with?
Right, yeah. Because she let my son walk around and go to the movies in costumes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he 13. So after 13, I'm like, that's too old to be dressing up like Charlie Brown to go see the Christmas special. You know what I mean? After 13, that's cross dressing. You know what I mean? So I went to go pick him up to go see Black Panther when it came out. And I went to go pick Junior up. Now see he about 16, just turned 16, but he big though. Yeah. Tall dude. And he came out dressed up as the Black Panther. I'm like, say, man, I am not finna go walk in a movie theater with a dude dressed as a We finna make this, you finna learn a lesson. I'm finna take on your first date. Call one of your female friends, and you're gonna have somebody else walk in with you. And he called her ass, and she walked in with a suit on too. So I'm like, hell no. Yeah. I was two people behind them as they walked in that motherfucker. I tell you.
Yeah. Let me ask you now. You said you played football, didn't you, man?
Nah, I played. I started out playing football. Until I got hit. You know what I mean?
Got hit. I think you was a kicker, man, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was the kicker. I got hit, and then you remember? I was a running back. I learned all the plays. They told me what to run. Then they lined us up, and then I ran between the blockers. Then they put the defense up there, and they say run between the defense. Then they said run it again. This time defense hit him. Then I said, no, I'm gonna play football now. I'm gonna be the kicker. I'm gonna join the band. And that's what started my musical career.
I know a little bit about football too. That's I got in the band too, man. You know, I got hit pretty hard, man. I got physical talent. But anyway, what are some of your interests after you got out of high school? Now I know you say you went to college, but coming from the hood you came from, man, how did you basically hook up going to school like that, man? I know along the way there got to be some kind of roadblock for you to come up to, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, I really don't know. I think it's just like I look at it now and I'm like, man, how did I do that? Really, because it's like God had something in store for me, and I don't know what it is. Because when I left home like the week after I graduated high school, and my mama bought me a car, and they gave me $200 and told me my financial aid would be waiting on me next week. Yeah.
Hey, man, you know the financial aid, man.
Yeah. So check this out. So I went off the Purview. I went to Purview. I was in the band. And see, you remember? No, I was in the band. Mr. Sanders, he taught us. He taught the fresh ones. If you can't read music, use your ear. Yeah. And you remember we won all those contests because we was able to listen. And then turn around and play it back to him. Yeah. So when I got to college, when I went to Purview, I could not read. I still couldn't read music. But they had me. I started off at the third chair because I could play. They like, this dude can play.
You playing the drums?
I played. I played trombone. I could play and I could dance, but I could not read a lick of the music. But if I could hear somebody play it, and I like, boom, that's it. And I hurry up and boom, and then I watch them again, boom, boom. Then I watch them for about 5 or 10 minutes. I got the whole song down, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I did that the whole way, the whole time I was in PB marching band. They didn't even know I couldn't read music. Yeah, and see.
Say, man, you know what? I used to, man, I was growing up, man. It was a whole couple of guys, man. They said they played professional football. They couldn't even read. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it ain't really nothing to be ashamed about, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, I could I could read. I said I couldn't read the music. I couldn't read the
know.
music. I could read.
Yeah,
but like,
it's the
but like,
same thing, man. You know,
now I'm trying to tell you. Look. So like back to I kind of got off topic. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get back to the question. I look back at it now. I don't know how because I got a total of 5 degrees.
Oh man.
I got 5. I got like they look good on the wall. They look real good. I'm a comedian. I ain't doing none of that, but they look good on the wall.
Yeah.
And it was a promise I had made to my dad before he died. He told me to stay in school. Yeah. He said your ticket out of Hero. Stay in school.
Yeah.
And he knew I couldn't play football. He learned that. And so he's like, your ticket is to stay in school.
Yeah.
And I stayed in there 12 years, and I had this ideal: if I collect all these degrees and I finish, I'm gonna be rich.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about you gotta go find a job. That part, yeah. That part. So I said I might as well do something that's gonna make me smile every time I get up there to do it. You know what I mean? So I went on the side to do comedy. And a lot of people don't know I sing. I can sing like really, really, really good.
Okay.
But by myself, I can't sing. But if I have the music turned down really low, and I can hear the notes that the singer is singing, I can sing it better than him. You feel me? Yeah. So that's one of the, I want to say, one of the elements, fibers of the core of who I am. And I'm thankful and grateful that I quit football and got into the band, because that's a powerful gift right there, you know, to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And that carried me a long way. Yeah. This comedy thing, like, it's funny, but it was my exposure and an experience of being on front stage in high school and in college, you know, performing. So it just comes second nature.
Now,
you know?
I know we all have mentors. We all have people we try to pattern ourselves now. Now, what would you say was kind of like the most person you really try to copy yourself after, or you really admire in being a comedian? And I know it's a lot of them. I'm looking at this computer today, man. I didn't know that, man. They even considered Sammy Davis Jr. as being a comedian, and I thought, man, he was an all-round entertainer. He did,
right.
You know,
right.
Singer, drummer, and everything. He did everything.
Yeah.
So, what would you say was your influence? Basically, you kind of sit up late. I know me and my partner, man, when we was growing up, we was listening to some of this. I hate to say it now. I used to listen to this guy named Dolomite.
Yeah.
Turn around. Eddie Murphy made a movie about it, man. The signifying monkey and all that old stuff like that, man. Then we got into the crowd. And he got into some then Martin came in with his little act and the rest of them. And it just after then we kind of learned that having the ability to mold and hold our audience captivated is a kind of a chosen thing. And not everybody has that, because you might want to get on stage one time, get on there somebody, man, they start throwing stuff at you, man. Get up, you know what I'm saying? Get off the stage, man. Yeah. I was looking at I think a lot of we look at Eddie Murphy up on the Nutty Professor, how that guy was making fun of him like that. You got some comedians that they're insult comedians. You know what I'm saying? And they
Mm-hmm.
feed off the audience by talking about folks and ranking them. We call it ranking. You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah.
We
Uh-huh.
ranking, you ranking the schoolhouse. You saying, man, we doing wearing the same pants every day going to school, man. You know,
Right.
you know, yeah,
Right.
that one dude, man, come to school all day, man. He used to smell like we used to call him Frito boy.
Yeah.
Like that, you be smelling something. What that smell, man? Smell like
Yeah.
Fritos, man. He now really had a whole lot of kids in the house, man. All of them
Right.
in the same room, and somebody in their house peed in the bed. So then when they go to school, they smell like, oh man, that smells, oh man, woo. You never want to say nothing about it, man. And I go
Yeah.
on live. Then one day when he grew up, I look around this guy, man, he was a lawyer, man, just like you, man. And I really couldn't make fun of him no more, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they been through stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? We all
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
through things, man, you know. So what else you got up on the agenda for me now? You know, what else you want?
Like the question. I'm gonna go back to the question. Like when you said what comedian,
Yeah.
I would say more similar to Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
A lot of people say when I'm on stage performing, I have a similarity of Richard Pryor, and it's not on purpose. It's not on purpose. Uh, but I look at some of the things that I say on stage, and some of the things that he said on stage. It was pretty similar. Not similar, but it was same category in nature and verbalizations. You know what I mean? So like, and also one thing that me and Richard Pryor, well, two things me and Richard Pryor have in common. Can you hear me?
Yeah, he
Like he had got banned from a club somewhere on the East Coast or something like that for speaking up for Black people. Same thing happened to me. I was over at Hyenas, and I was working on some material, and I saw all the white comedians. I was the only Black person that was late, and they saying all kind of racist stuff, and I was like, man, that's making me uncomfortable. I'm the only Black person here, you know. And then they just kept doing it. So I told the owner, I'm like, look here, I'm really ain't offended, but I'm pretty sure if somebody else was, they probably would have been offended. And so they like, it's just a joke. It's all in the game. I said, all right. So they invited me to be on their show, on their stage, where I'm the only Black person still in the audience, in the building. So I had no plans on going back to that place. So I just wanted to let them see what it feel like to be called a nigga.
Hey, man, he was using that
Yeah.
word, man.
Man, it's on YouTube. I mean, it's on. They was filming, so I let them know. I'm like,
Man,
look here.
man, that word, man, you gotta have a ticket, man, to say that word, man. Not all white, no white man I know is allowed to say that word, man.
No, but here yeah, I know.
I have never seen even one. Okay, if you say, I didn't think Jimmy the Greek wanted to say it that night. We talking about, look at that little monkey run. You know what I'm saying? You remember that when you was talking about the football players?
Yeah, but check this out. See, they had been making a lot of like racial jokes, and I had been telling them, stop doing it, making me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I was the only Black person in the building.
Oh man.
And I did feel offended because I felt like they was aiming it at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I got on the stage, I was like, this is gonna be my last time. So I'm just gonna show them what it feel like to be called a nigga. And they apparently didn't feel well because they said I wasn't invited back. they was all on social media cussing me. I'm like, what shit? It was worth it.
Man, you know, some people can't dish what to give out, man. You know, they can't.
They can't.
Take what to give out.
can't.
I tell you a good thing. The other day I was looking at our president, man, how he was on TV.
Yeah.
And he was talking about everything's all right. You know. Instead of coughing and stuff, man, I said, man, we buy that. Do you buy that hype? I mean, people do things.
Yeah.
And we got the media. It has a way of controlling people. And if the master of using it, they almost call it a con man spirit.
Right.
I mean, most political people, actors, I wouldn't even say football owners. They got it. They all know how to, control the media by what they say. But if you say the
Right.
wrong thing, you get ate up, man. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you gotta watch what you say and when you say it. You know what I'm saying? We got right now. They got a football announcer right now for saying something he said he shouldn't say it. Now he lost a job. You gotta kind of be aware because we live in a world nowadays. Everybody, man, they got their drawers on tight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody worried about offending somebody. Then again, while you look around, you see this man get shot every day. People get shot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But see, like the politics. This has been the most entertainment ever, and we the star of the show.
Yeah.
And it tripped me out because during the protest, when they was protesting in front of the White House, it said the protesters. They said that so much. The protesters. The protesters. It started to sound like the niggas. The niggas is marching. Protesters started to sound like nigga. I was like, this shit just starting to sound too much like nigga to me.
Yeah.
But what got me was when the president, he said, if the protesters come across that wall, they will be met by some of the most vicious dogs I have ever seen. You seen that?
Yeah, I see.
And what happened next day? Because I knew he had messed up because black folk, we like vicious dogs. That's our favorite dog. Man, so the next day, it was 10,000 black people in front of the White House with dog collars and they dog, ready to meet the vicious dogs. They asked one to do it. They say, sir, why you bring your dog? He say, shit, I'm trying to make some puppies. Two vicious motherfuckers are presidential and the mangy. Damn. Yeah, I'm telling you. That
talking about. I remember when I was growing up, man. One time when I was working at this, I was working at school, and one of my friends had a partner, man.
Mm-hmm.
He said he got locked up in the penitentiary, man, and he had a good job, man, taking care of the dog. He knew how to train dogs. So he said when he got into jail, he said, man, I'll tell you what, that'd be your job, taking care of training the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had the dogs doing all kinds of stuff, man. When the dogs go out, man, they got these rags, man. They let them smell it. You smell the rag. Go get him, boy. Yeah, and then so, he got too good at it, man. You know what I'm saying? And when he come home, man, he started doing the same thing around the house, man, and train the dogs, man, and stuff, man. He got these, when the pits first came in, man, first people they tried Rottweilers, and then everybody wanted to start to have pits.
Yeah.
And then I like them pits, man. I ain't just something about them, man. I just don't like them, man, because they turn their back on you, man. You know what I'm saying? They turn on you. Rottweilers will, but then again, they tell me a Rottweiler a pit can't handle a Rottweiler, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah, they're killing me. So I'm just saying that it's different jobs for different situations for different people, and mostly you get categorized and systemized when you're doing certain things. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So,
and see, I'm on the before I forget. It was after I had experienced what I had experienced that in Fort Worth, that racial experience.
Oh, you in Fort Worth, man. You in Hell City over there, man. Something about it was, man. I go there sometime, man. It's like I done went back in the time somewhere, man. I don't know why I'm much behind like that, man. But then again, well, y'all come on over and be with us, real. Oh, man.
That's how they do. But look, so like I started my own show called Legends in the Making Comedy. Legends in the Making Comedy.
Uh-huh.
And I pretty much gathered all the comedians that were being, well, they was, but I'm just gonna say it was begging to be on somebody's stage because they had been pretty much outcasted. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean they weren't begging me, but nobody else was letting them on their stage. So I so-called took the what you would call undesirables. Okay.
Okay.
And I took them on tour, on a comedic tour. And I had singers, I had dancers, everything. And I took them on tour, and they had and the tour was local. It was from Dallas, it was from Oak Cliff, the North. It was very local, but we was riding around every weekend just doing stuff, just entertaining. And we entered contests. And some of the people had never won nothing in their life. And I made champions out of them. They won contests. Yeah.
Oh,
and it's called Legends in the Making Comedy. And it felt good because even though I wasn't putting myself in that first place position, I was able to uplift somebody else who otherwise, you know what I'm saying, who needed a little push. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who had a gift, but didn't have, whatever they was missing to get that little push. And it was 2 or 3 or 4 of them that's still rolling right now in the comedy game. Because I feel like
Now you kind of relate to this and feed off. Okay, you say you grew up in South Dallas. And back in the period when we was working back in the early 80s and 90s, man, we had this thing called crack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everybody in South Dallas and everybody in East Dallas, man, almost had a relative. You know what I'm saying? That really was strung out some kind of way, man. And they all got all kind of horror stories talking about what go on in their house and how they couldn't go to work in the daytime because when they go to school, man, they had to put him outside because they couldn't allow him in the house in the daytime. You know what I'm saying? He was steal everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What do you basically can you attest to some of this is going on? I know somebody you knew or somebody you know had a relative that was on crack. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about that a little bit.
Honestly, growing up, I wasn't exposed to my mom and my dad. They was really, really, really strict. So,
man.
Yeah. So luckily, me and my siblings and myself, we didn't, even though we was in the hood, we was around it, but we never saw none of that kind of stuff firsthand. Yeah, because my mom and dad, they did a good job of.
That's amazing, man. Cause I'm and really how I like I'm saying, I lived over there all my life, and I wound up going off to college, and I came back, and then I got stuck back over in this neighborhood, and basically I saw how South Dallas kind of eradicated and got raggedy, and some of the best, nice apartments and stuff went down, and all the houses and the people started, and the women started losing weight and started looking skinny, man, and all this, man, and man, it's pitiful, man.
Right.
It was just pitiful, man, and for.
But I was lucky, man. My mom and dad took they kept us sheltered. They kept us sheltered and kept us away from that kind of stuff.
But I'm looking at how and when you live in an inner city and you go to school around people like that, it's kind of hard, really, from just basically being exposed to it. And I see a lot of youngsters, man, come in, man. They come to me and say, "Oh, Mr. Daniel, can I borrow some money for you, man? I can't pay for my graduation hats and my cap and gown, man." And I do it. I lend them the money, man. And they say, "Thank you, man, thank you." And then next day, I look around and Some of them speak to me, some of them don't. I just chalk it up in the game because I know God put me in that place for me to help people.
For a reason, right, right.
Uh,
I had an idea, like it was something I wanted to share with you that I had experienced. Before I forget, I forget stuff real easy. So like when I made Legends in the Making comedy to help the comedians that were struggling, I was getting a lot of negativity from the people that I had made mad in Fort Worth.
mm-hmm.
And literally, I was raised like, like growing up, what we grew up from, we learned how to move with faith. You know what I mean? Walk in faith.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I can describe what I went through with them in this term. Like when I was going to the grocery store, I took a shortcut. And as I was driving past the stop sign, I saw trees in front of me to the right, and it looked like they was curving and it was a dead end. But I was like, no, I'm gonna keep straight because I think there should be another intersection past those trees. So I moved and kept moving in faith. And as I passed those trees, I noticed they had been sitting there a while. You feel me? They had been settled. They had grown. they had aged. You hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm driving past these trees and I noticed the road started to curve to the left. And as I kept driving, I noticed as I drove, the trees got bigger and thicker. I mean, they had been there longer. And they'd been there all that time. They had no plans on going nowhere. And I got so far around the corner, it wasn't even no trees no more. It was nothing but a straight highway. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's what I learned. That's when I learned as a person, as a man. Faith in life, living righteous, and faith work hand in hand.
Yeah.
And what God got for you, and nobody stop it. Nobody
stop it.
Now, as I passed them trees, they knew I was just passing by. They knew I wasn't gonna be there for long.
Yeah.
Cause they had been in the ground so long, they had grown thicker. And they probably said, "Hey, we done seen this kind of guy before. He come through, make it, and don't get us and bring us with him. So we gonna throw all the dirt on him now while he in our presence." I'm telling you, cause I'm telling you, these cats, they threw everything they could at me. But being where we from, we learned how to make lemonade. But Beyonce, lemonade out of lemons. You hear me?
Yeah, you're right.
So the negative publicity that they gave me, though they gave me some, I had the dude was photoshopping a picture on squirrels and stuff. I'm like, this is crazy. But as the words say, a righteous man, I don't want to misquote, but I'm just paraphrasing. A righteous man knows when to hold his mule. You hear me?
His word, hold his mouth.
And then this is it. This is in one of them prayers. What it say? Something about God to make your enemies your footstool.
Your footstool, yeah.
You hear me?
The same people whooping you.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to serve you one day.
Exactly. Check this out.
Yeah.
And this is where this is what tripped me out right here.
Yeah.
They had gave me all this publicity. Lifestyle show ain't this. He that, not funny, blah, 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 blah. Man, these people gave me a bunch of publicity. So when I did go on stage to do a show, guess what? I had a packed house because these people wanted to see.
Yeah.
And when they got there, I put on a show. You hear me?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I put on a show. I did a Obama impersonation. It was off the chain.
Okay.
And so I'm telling you, the word that I grew up with, my dad was a minister.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned at a young age too to lean on the word of God and to live a righteous life, because a righteous man receive righteous rewards. You feel me?
I believe you're supposed to carry the torch too, Derrick. I think it's in you too. Are you
What's
enough
that?
got the calling for it yet? Have God spoken to you yet and asked you to do a little bit, speak my word, anything like that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Being real. I'm just being real with it. I'm something like I'm a deacon, and I got a knee. I would say sometimes I have prophetic dreams. I have
mhm,
I have visions and stuff that I've dreamed about 4, 5, 6 years ago. Sometimes it come true. I even had a dream. I was gonna work at that high school, man. One day while
mhm.
I was in school, and I kept wondering, man, what? And then turn around, look around, the same pictures I saw in my mind 10 years ago, going flashing before me like a
It's coming to
oh
pass. Right,
man,
right, right.
oh man. So I'm
Yeah,
saying everybody got a destiny they all assigned to. And
right, right, right,
we
right.
all, just like you talking about that road, we all got a road that God directs us on. You either take
Hmm.
the road or you take the left road.
Right, because I look back at some of the stuff I've been through in my life, and I'm looking back like I don't know how I got
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I was in school a long time, and if you told me when I went in that I was gonna come out with 5 different degrees, just some major degrees,
yeah,
I've been like, you lying.
yeah,
I don't know how I got 'em. It's like, to be honest with you, it's like God had a preordained so- for me, and I just lived righteous, was honest, and just stayed on path, and it just fell in place, you know. And it's weird. It's weird like that though. It's weird. I can't even explain it.
So
I can't even
we're
explain it.
gonna talk a little bit now. You said you got a family now. You got how
Mhm.
many kids you got? You got kids, you got 3 or 4 grown kids, and some of them
I
is
got well, my daughter and my son, and I was in the military when I was in college. I was back and forth, driving back and forth when my daughter was born. Uh, she's grown now. She has two kids. They look so much. My DNA must be strong because my daughter is like a female version of me.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I know that's right.
yeah,
What they say,
and
the daddy almost take the daughter almost take like the daddy, man.
yeah. So when I met her boyfriend, her
Yeah,
fiance, they finna get married.
yeah.
He just sit there and the first time he met me, he just stared at me, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of weird, ain't
No.
it?
But sometimes you can't deny it. You can't deny it. She ain't none of yours. You know what I'm saying? I know
Yeah,
you.
yeah, nah, but nah. Her boyfriend was just staring at me because I'm like, he looking at, cause me and my daughter look so much alike. She like a female copy of me,
Mm.
and her boyfriend was just staring. He probably thinking, damn, he look just like. So when he that's something that stuck in his head for forever now.
Yeah.
He look just like a dude. No, I
Oh,
was just joking.
so
But my grandkids, my grandson, he has all my mannerisms. He we was looking at my granddaughter fall down and bump her head multiple times. She just stood up, boom, and then we help her up, and she walk on a little bit. She boom, fall again. I like, let me get out of here for from about, you know what I'm saying. But when my granddaughter kept falling, me and my grandson, we looked at each other, and I looked like this, and I looked over at him. He looked at, we both were looking just like this, puzzled. And it's weird because just by looking at them, I can know what they thinking. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
It's weird. You know what your kids thinking because they got the same look that you would have before you did what they about to do. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They call that
Intuition, parent intuition or something like that.
something got to do with like you said, genetics.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
Yeah.
each other. So, Dang, what are some of your plans for the future now? When you want to try to, when all this pandemic stuff is over with and everything get back to normal again, and then we can all go back to regular thinking and regular dressing and don't have to wear this doggone mask all the time, man, which is giving me almost the sinus, man. You know, I think
Yeah.
it's giving me the sinus, man. I've been rocking all day, man. I said, I hope I ain't got the corona, man. I sure look like I want to blow some boogers out of my nose, man.
Yeah.
I said, man, I'm wrong, man. You know, but it's it's got to get back right, man. But when things do get back to regular, what are some of your plans you want to do? You know, we all want to either you want to try to get scheduled back in a nightclub or some respectable clubs. Now we're gonna stick to respectful places that really
Yeah.
look right and really
Mhm.
black people will respect. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because
right.
main thing is why I really I started this show about I was talking about rap music last week, how they were talking about these women talking all nasty about each other and then they saying it was my political right for me to speak and it's a natural right. The Constitution says we have a right to freedom of speech. We can say what we want to say, you know, records, but it's getting to be out of sight, man. You know what I'm saying? It's getting to be,
Right.
it's me morally, when you look at it, man, I don't want my little kid going around saying, man, those are moles in the house, moles. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? Saying that,
Right.
man, you know, we know
Right.
that anyway. But you don't
Mm-hmm.
want them to know that, man, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's got to be some kind of way we got to have a place that basically we can be comfortable and at the same time we got to be respectful and
Right. Right.
then when we see our counterpart like white people, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why they wouldn't want us to really say that N word, the nigga,
Mm-hmm.
because they see us saying it all the time. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They see us saying it on the ruckus and they saying this and that, and then a lot of the comedians they were saying it sometimes. Then they kind of had to they got chastised by saying it so much. But
Right. Right. That's true.
I was wondering sometimes how, you know, I know like Richard Pryor, man, most of the stuff he was talking about a lot of uh Chinese people. He was talking about the gay folks. He was talking about in these day of times, he probably getting ran off the stage, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I'm just being for real. He probably wouldn't eat, and he probably, and they all, everybody, like I'm saying, everybody got the, you already got, oh, that's just to make me this offensive. God, you know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
got to be, you know, some kind of way. Somebody gonna really have to relax a little bit. You know, we all here to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Right.
got to learn to have fun. Basically, I look at it why everybody's all running uptight. We're not relaxing. We're
That's
not
true.
relaxing. You gotta learn how to go with the flow. My dad said you gotta learn how to go with the flow. Pressure bust a pipe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
you will see a lot of people how they go out and they get stressed out and they're going out. We've been locked up in the house for about 8 weeks. And everybody get out and everybody say, man, the hell with it, man. Donald Trump got the doggone corona. I can get it. He gonna get, you know, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's what they figured. They say, well, he gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
cure it because he got it. He sure ain't gonna want to die.
Exactly. Right.
Somebody's
Right.
gonna have to cure this thing, man. And so everybody,
Mm-hmm.
they letting down their guard. And then
Mm-hmm.
guard. I'm looking out the other day. I look around. I ain't never seen so many people riding around now, man. The malls are full of folks. The freeways full of folks. Everybody walking around. So I guess they don't care no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So who do you think is gonna win the election?
Well, man, I think it's a toss-up, man. It's really closer than what people think. Some people say Joe Biden got a run on it, but it all depends on what people. And I'm telling you, some of this thing, what he's doing, he's coming back. He's trying to say that ain't nothing wrong. He wants a sympathy vote. And
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm the
Right.
Superman, and I can help you, and you don't have to worry about this. And I did this, and I can help y'all. And it's just that the leadership position has to be strong. And if you look at a man that ain't strong, ain't nobody gonna want to follow it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. That's true.
That's
That's
what it's
true.
saying. You know, if you got to be a strong leader in order for somebody to follow you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's another scripture in the Bible. How you gonna run your own household when you can't? How you gonna be a deacon if you can't run your own household? How you gonna be you know what I'm saying? The same thing. You got to
That's so
be
true.
on leader. And to me, Joe Biden, he look like he put on that thing talking about. He look like he's going to sleep, trying to sleep at Joe and all that. But you know, at the
We need a third. We should have a third option. We ain't got too good of an option.
same time, the woman look like she got more strength than what he got.
Yeah, yeah. But see, if he wins, that lady is pretty much going to be running everything. Yeah.
Running.
Mm-hmm.
I put it like that. I put it back like a lot of people didn't know when you probably wasn't born then when Ronald Reagan was in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
He was going through dementia.
Mm-hmm.
He really didn't know what was going on. He always about, hey Nancy, what's this? And she said, say that, Ronnie. You know, just say no to drugs, Ronnie. There's no, and he couldn't say that. She was running the White House. She was running the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, when he got out of there, Ronald Reagan went out. You know what I'm saying? But you got to watch who you put up there. Like, you know what I'm saying? If they old, they got to be in good health. You know what I'm saying? I just leave it like that, man. You know, I don't want to talk a lot, man, about stuff, man. That's the way I see it. All got our opinions. Like I say, sometimes you can say the wrong thing, but truth is just true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
So, what else you got on the agenda for tonight, Derrick? You know, I'm getting ready to wind up right now. We've been on about 40 minutes. What you got on your little schedule right now?
Well, when I want to make a little. Everything is virtual now, so I probably make like a little home comedy movie or something, or a comedy album or something, since I got a little time on my hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I said, I don't know how a lot of these blessings that I've been receiving in my life has come, but I'm thankful that I have the favor of God. You know what I'm saying? And I know I got the favor of God in my life.
Let me ask you now, man. Did you study entertainment law while you was in school? You know anything about entertainer being a publicity worker? Or
No, I did constitutional law and I mostly focused on civil law because
I know a lot of people that's in the show business and stuff like that, and then sometimes you have to be instructed. And right now, in writing songs, and you got to kind of watch it, man. When you writing a tune and somebody's stealing your song, the copyright stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stuff, and you got to know what. Even with these some of these Facebook stuff and all this stuff too. You got to know the law now. That if you don't, you turn around, you get sued by saying.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So everybody has to have a legal counsel when they're doing stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just thought maybe you probably, had that kind of in your arsenal, man.
Yeah, but like what I want to do now is like probably make a little comedy album, you know what I'm saying? And then when things clear up and it's safe to get back and share a microphone, because I'm not gonna get on the microphone with nobody at this time. But when
yeah, you know what? That's another thing, man. I think the mics are spreading that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think in the beginning, it's about 40 bishops, man, got sick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you don't come to church and get up there and everybody speaking on the microphone and blowing, and they didn't know.
Right.
They didn't know.
Right.
Like
so like when everything clear up, I'm probably gonna focus on the music. I'm gonna start similar to what Jamie Foxx did when he started doing stand-up. His stand-up was good, but his musical talents was twice as good. Yeah.
And then
the acting. And see me, this was like my first time out there in the entertainment business. And I've been doing comedy, like I was active for about a year, and I made a lot of progress. I'm known in Africa. I'm known around the world, in certain areas, you know. Yeah. And what I was gonna say? Oh yeah. So what I was saying, I forgot what I was saying. What I what I'm saying?
You were talking about how your skill and your compatibility to with other things that you have, the other talents kind of
Oh
intertwine.
yeah. So what I'm gonna try to do is intertwine that music into my comedy shows, like similar to what Jamie Foxx did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
let it all flow naturally. You know what I'm saying? And then also find new talent. You know?
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. All
Yeah.
right. Well,
And then I feel like I'm blessed because I'm able to have time to at least, chase the dream. You know what I'm saying? Because it could have been where I had to just go to work, and then have time to say, hey, that dream of being a musician, that dream of being a comedian, I can't do it because I'm busy working. But for some reason, God has allowed me an opportunity to have time to study, perfect, and then get on stage and perform. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So not only is it just a dream, but I'm looking at it like, hey, I'm looking at it. God has cleared a path for me to get on stage and do this. So it's a calling somewhere. I just don't know where. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right, all right. As we go now, we're getting ready to close up the show tonight, and you know, tonight I was gonna play a little tune tonight, man. I had started off, man, a little bit, man. I got this on, man. I've been playing it, man, for about 50 years now, man.
Mhm.
You know, and I just can't give it up, man. I got tunes in the book. I'm writing every day, and one day I'm gonna let I don't know, somebody have to discover, myself and help me out, and maybe my kids basically have to just had to be shown that what a kind of smart person I was. You know what I'm saying? Some
Mhm.
people don't never get acknowledged while they're here on Earth, and later on they find out some of the things they can do, and they say, God, I never know they can ever do like that smart like that. But to
Right.
each his own, man. So right now I'm going to close, and I ask you to just keep on doing what you're doing, Derrick. Don't never let anybody stop your dream. Don't let the haters hate you. They call them haters. You got them in all races, man. You saw that. You got them in the whites and all of them. I think you even got some
Right.
street haters. That ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Oh, always. This guy told me one day, always shoot for your highest zenith. Always
Mhm.
for your highest goal in life. You might hit one thing, you look around, well, I'm gonna try to do this now. I did this, now I'm gonna have to try this. Like you were talking about, you want to be a comedian, you want to be a singer, and then you want to be an actor. You just one step, you go up at one time.
Right.
Always. And God got it
Yeah.
planned for you.
Mm-hmm.
As we close tonight, I'd like to thank you for being on my show tonight, and I wish you the much success. And like I never give up on the dream. Never give up on your dream.
Right.
Nice talking
Right.
to you tonight, man, and get back with me next week. Maybe all right, how y'all doing tonight? Tonight I'm having another repeat encore. You call it an encore performance of Mr. Derrick Lights Out Shaw, and he's gonna go through his routine, and I don't really know what's going on tonight. I'm gonna kind of stay kind of quiet tonight. You know.
Yeah. I mean,
I know
how you
last
doing?
week I talked a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you now. As we were talking about last week, you were saying that you have some legal skills and you got a pretty good education and stuff like that. And how does it seem like it has done you and all of you prepare yourself for what you're trying to do now? Having it basically taught you how to present yourself and how to present your case. I put it like that. You know how to present yourself and promote
Right.
yourself and promote your craft that you're trying to
Right.
do around people,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And most of the being a comedian is like that. So as we go through, this is round 2 of Derrick's Lights Out. Shaw.
Right.
What
Right.
you gotta say for me tonight?
Right. How you doing, Rick? How
I'm
you
doing
doing?
all right tonight, man. I'm doing all right. Fine and dandy, man.
That's what's up. Thank you for having me again. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. I've been bumping into a lot of religious people here recently. You know what I mean? And they ask some silly questions, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like this lady walked up to me. I was at Family Dollar. I was getting some stuff for my mom, and this lady asked me craziest question. This Caucasian lady. She was real nice, and she was like, "Do you think Jesus is black?" And I was like, "Why you, out of all these people in the store, why the hell you asking me?" I'm just here to get some education. But anyway, she asked me, and I was like, I started thinking, you know what I mean? I was in my thinking mode. I'm like, well, that's a good question. That's a good question. I'm like, well, let's see, let's look at the miracles he performed. He was hanging with his crew, licked Stokes' clothes. They say, hey, Jesus, hook us up, and boom.
Hey, it got something to do with the wine, huh?
Yeah. So that's some, excuse my Espanol, that's some nigga shit right there. Because I ain't never been hanging out with Billy and them. They just drop it like that. But that's some nigga shit. We know how to make shit happen, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then I looked at it from another one of his miracles. You know, I told the white lady, I say, well, I done been to a lot of funerals, unfortunately. And at my white friend's funeral, they be calm, peaceful, they be sad and shit, but they be calm. Like, oh, they gone, boo-hoo. But at a black folk funeral, they be jumping out in the casket, crying and shit, don't they? Taking it hard. Yeah. So I was reading the word a couple of weeks ago, and I got to the part where was it Jesus' uncle? That's his uncle Lazarus.
Yeah, Lazarus.
Yeah. Lazarus. He had died, and Jesus found out about it. He took it hard. Went out there and found out where Lazarus was at, and walked and fell off in the grave with him and say, "Shit, I'm Jesus. Come on, nigga." That's some nigga shit. That's some nigga shit. So I told the white lady, I said, look, now we ain't looked at the miracles. Let's look at what the brother went through. There's only 2 ass whoopings in history that's been documented. That's Jesus and Rodney King. So all I'm saying to that lady is, he might have not been black, but he was damn sure darker than the other motherfuckers. You hear me? Yeah. Man, they asked some of the craziest questions, And I always have a response for them. They might not like it, but I always have a response for them. And it makes sense. Yeah. And I wanted to give a shout out to the homies out there in South Africa, Iris and the guys that's running the Mimi page in South Africa. Appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for showing love and keeping it going for me. Thank you so much. They know me. I'm big in Africa, in the southern part. Yeah. But shout out to them, and shout out to my mom and grandma. Yeah, they put up with me. Yeah, I love them. Them the only two women I take a bullet for. That's my mama and grandma. Sister and brother, I don't know. They on their own, but mama and grandma, them the only two people I die for. Them two right there.
Mm-hmm.
I love them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why a lot of my stuff is like connected with South Africa and the continent of Africa. Can you hear me, Rick?
Yeah, I hear you.
The reason why a lot of my stuff is connected to Africa, and you notice I interact with a lot of young adults, is because it's to bridge that gap, because African Americans we can only trace our history back to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Think about 1860.
Right, we can only trace
1850 or something like that. I tried a little bit,
we can all
outcome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We can only trace our history back so far, and if we have any lineage in our DNA, it goes off into their background. But when I do my interaction with the entertainment, and especially when it's with the young adults, I try to connect South Africa to the U.S. with the young people of the same culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same culture, different format. Same thing, but then modified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That way they can look at the people, the young adults in Africa and say, hey, that's actually our original culture, but it's been modified because we over here.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And that way they both can get a lesson from each other. This is how far it has transformed.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah, I agree.
And they can feed off each other. They, you know how you do it on social media. Yeah. But I just wanted to share that right there.
Yeah, I believe that most of our heritage through not having a name, back in the day, you were either a boy, a girl, 10, girl, 13. You didn't have no last name. If they gave you a first name, you probably John, Joe, common name, and they didn't really know, what to laugh, but you took the muscle name, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
His name requires so many Johnsons. Who else? Andersons. Who else? A lot of Smiths. It's a lot of Smiths, Jefferson.
Right.
Yeah, that's Thomas Jefferson, man. Tell me something, man. What do you think about? I heard today that they were talking about, and Donald Trump was saying this, he was talking about tearing down these statues of Thomas Jefferson and George Washington because they say they were slave owners too. So what do you think about that, man? I know history shows, like I said this while ago, there's a lot of Jeffersons. He had his own he had his own company.
But think about it. Think about it though. Think about it seriously. If slavery was still legal today, just look at the millionaires and billionaires and wonder how many of them would own slaves if they could. You feel me?
Yeah.
And see, in the criminal justice field, it's a business. When a person goes to prison, they lose their freedom and become a slave.
Yeah.
And their labor is leased out. You feel me? So if they want to, if the criminal justice system is a business and the work is leased out from the workers who are paying their debt to society, then who would be the best candidates for that job position? Young, healthy, and so therefore it's something called, I believe it's called a yellow sheet. That may be what they used to call it. And on the yellow sheet, it has a list of what offenses took place in different areas and in different ethnic groups. So if I'm a businessman, if I'm a lawmaker, I'm gonna go ahead and make those offenses that's happening in certain areas of, punishable by taking away the freedom and making them a slave. So the certain area of geographical, economical, financial group is sometimes being targeted. That's why it's a big deal about the criminal justice reform now. And so when it comes to slavery is actually still going. It's called being a prisoner. They got a bunch of indentured service, and it's covered by saying they're paying their debt to society, bless their hearts. But like my dad said, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
That's what I always heard,
Yeah. But like Richard Pryor said, shit, thank God for penitentiaries. There's some crazy motherfuckers out there. You hear me? Thank God for penitentiaries. Yeah. And man, and I noticed in different parts of the world, especially Africa, because we African Americans, and if you ever bump into an African, I was waiting to bring the next topic up.
Yeah, I was mostly talking about how people, man, most of the time wanna just throw in the towel sometime when you look at how most people figure out they can't cope with certain things, and some things happen, I look at a lot of these people nowadays. Mostly, man, it's a lot of unrest in America. One of the main things was going on with, and I would say, it's mostly like trust and understanding and communication, and we're also talking about it's an entity out there right now, and one of his main thing is to make disruption in the world. You know what I'm saying? What's going on everywhere, man. Everywhere. Everything you look around, people just losing it, man. They going crazy, jumping up and down and talking all crazy and stuff, man. And I just wonder, when will things mostly get back right again? When will things get, man? But then again, like you said last week, it ain't gonna never be right until Jesus comes. And I do like that. I talk a lot of stuff. I talk, we all talk crazy, but in the run and at the end of the day, we'll understand that we all here on assignment, and we all here because of one thing. That's God.
Right.
And when I look at it, one of the main things that God has given us is to have an ability to laugh at your problems.
Right.
Be able to laugh at your problems and just say, ha, and not to, and most all of the different comedians I've seen mostly, and I was listening at Bernie Mac the other day, how he was going through a lot of stuff with his mom, his grandmama, and all this, and then he made them laugh. He was making them laugh at the funerals. At the funerals and everything, and so then he basically built a TV show of laughing at the problems he had with his I believe his sister and his sister. And so it all goes on. So what I'm saying is that you as a aspiring comedian, have you learned that you have this I believe they call it NITS this ability to grow with what you feel or what you say?
Yeah.
What you have been through.
Yeah, yeah. Cause I remember when I first started doing comedy, my brother, he was like, I was nervous the first time I got on stage. I was really nervous. And I was like, how should I get on stage? And he was like, should you just go on up there and just be yourself. You ignorant. And that's what I did. I got on stage. I just started talking about my mom and my grandma. And they didn't like that. But it was funny. It really happened. My mom really did call the police on 2 squirrels. Because it said she got into it with a nigga on top of the roof.
2 squirrels.
Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you what happened. When I first started doing comedy, no, my mom, she moved in with me. And when I first started doing comedy, I had left. And my mom, she liked to call the police for no reason. They know her by first name. And I told her, I said, Mom, please stop calling the police. I'm doing this comedy stuff. And so she did good for a while. And then I went to the store or something like that. And she called me. She was like, hey. I said, what's going on, Mom? She said, it's a nigga on top of the house. I said, so what? She said, it's a nigga on top of the house. Walking back and forth and shit. Hold on. Another nigga just jumped up there with him. So I'm at the store like, wait a minute. Let me roll out. It's 2 niggas on top of the house. I gotta get back to the crib. And Mama say, baby, hold on. Don't take your time. The police on their way. So I get to the house. And there was 2 damn squirrels sitting there with the acorns and 3-4 cars of police. And my mom pointing at that ear. Yeah, she loved to call the police, man. And yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, tonight, man, I would say, man, I ain't got it too much tonight, Derrick.
Yeah.
I'm kind of down in the dumps today, man.
Yeah, they one of them days, man.
I need somebody really to laugh with me, man, and hold me up a little bit, man, because I'm going
right.
So you say, of anybody next week when we try this again, can you kind of hook up a little bit, man, and try to
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to a bunch of comedians. I got a little team, the comedy team that we went on tour. We went on a local tour of the DFW and Fort Worth area. We just flew. We just drove around to different spots and within the DFW and performed. Mm-hmm. And I got a bunch of them. I got a bunch of good ideas of how you can expand the show as well. Cause I got the Lights Out Entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, you can make that the platform for your station. More than welcome if you want to.
Yeah. Okay, then. Well, that as we wind up tonight, I'd like to, give a shout out to Mr. Derrick, Lights Out Shaw. We appreciate him being here tonight.
Yeah.
And, every week we're gonna try to do this. If not every other week, we're gonna try to do this a little bit.
Right.
I see tonight. I want to appreciate you coming on tonight. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me for sure.
All right, then. Thank you, then. All right.